finding direction using the sun. You need a stick and two markers. Placing the stick in the ground approximately a metre from the top of the stick to the bottom of the stick. Place a marker where the sun casts a shadow. At the top of the shadow you place your marker. When 20 minutes pass by, the sun, because it's tracking in the sky, will move the shadow in the opposite direction a distance. You place another marker at now the new point where the shadow falls. Taking your stick out of the ground, placing it across the two markers, standing with your heels directly on the back of the stick, with the sun on your back, you'll know that north is directly in front of you. That's true in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere it would be the opposite way round, because the sun is running across the line of the equator. What has happened is, as the sun has moved from east to west, the line being scribed by the shadow has allowed you to get your east-west line. In the northern hemisphere, the sun is to the south. So the sun on your back means that north is in exactly the opposite direction. In the southern hemisphere, it's completely the opposite way around. You would be facing the sun, and north would be directly in front of you as you face the sun. Finding direction using a watch. What you need to do is, where the hour hand is pointed, hold up a blade of grass to form a shadow along the hour hand. Halfway between that shadow and 12 o'clock is the north-south line. The southern end of that line is always between the hour and 12 o'clock. So north being completely the opposite direction. As we've covered before, the stick and stone method. Finding direction by the sun. Stick approximately 1 metre high off the ground. As the sun casts a shadow, you place a stone. The first stone. After 20 minutes have elapsed, the sun will have moved across the sky, producing shadow in a different location. That is where you place a second stone. Taking the stick out of the ground and laying it between the two stones so that it's touching both sides of the stone, as you will see here and here, with your feet, heels right on the back of the stick, with the sun on your back, you're facing north. That's true in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, north, you'd be directly facing the sun and you wouldn't be on your back. An excellent way of quickly getting your bearings, but it does rely on the sun being out. Direction by using a watch, an analog watch. Direction by watch. Hold a blade of grass up so that the sun casts a shadow. Orientate your watch so that the hour hand is exactly in line with the shadow. Halfway between that line and 12 o'clock is the north to south line. The southern end in the northern hemisphere is always between the hour hand and 12 o'clock, north being in the opposite direction. So in the northern hemisphere the sun is in the south, in the southern hemisphere the sun is in the north. That's because as the sun goes around the equator line To the north of it, the sun appears to be in the south, and to the south of it, the sun appears to be in the north. Again, great way of finding your direction very, very quickly.